Hello and welcome to video 7 of the Microsoft Word video series. This video is about itineraries. So an itinerary is a schedule, a plan of action, sort of timed for tasks. The example we've got on the screen at the moment is an itinerary for a Mr. Watson for a London business trip. So there are a few things that our itineraries must have. Firstly, they must have headings. So name of the person, the purpose of the visit being on one line, and then the date or dates on the second line. You can see this examples over 2 dates. We then need to insert a table. Now your table must have 2 columns, one column for the time and one column for the activity. You need to insert a date and then shade that row, and you'll see here that the row has been shaded, and you'll notice it's all one row. It's not 2 like we have here. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that as well. We need to do it in the third person. So if you're using the person's name, even though if it was for yourself, you'd still say your name. So rather than me putting I will check in at Glasgow Airport at 0800, I would put Mr. Young checks in at Glasgow Airport at 0800. And lastly, it needs to be in 24-hour clock. So no PM or AM, it's got to be in 24-hour clock, and that means hundreds of hours. So 0800 hours, it's 8 AM in the morning, 2000 hours, it's 8 PM in the afternoon. Okay? And you need to, whether or not you need the word hours after it is debatable, but let's just go with that as our house style, our format. So let's look at an example that I've got here. So itinerary for Mr. Young's days off. Pretty sure the English is all wrong on that, but I'm going to leave it the way it is just now. So we've got itinerary at the top. We know what the document is. Mr. Young's days off. And then we've got the dates. So you'll see that it's 2 days, Monday the 10th of July, Tuesday the 11th of July, and I've got a short schedule. Okay, so Monday the 10th of July up here, but you'll notice I've not merged the two together yet. I want to make it one row. So you click in the row, highlight so you've got the whole row put together. Then you've got a couple of different ways that you can do it. So you can either go to your layout tab and then click merge cells, or you can highlight it, right click and merge cells that way. Either way is fine. Now we want to shade that row so that it is distinguished, highlighted. You could even potentially make the text in that bold just to make it more of a heading. You'll also see that I've got all the hours on the side and then the activities on the right hand side there. And you can make that narrower or wider for all of it as long as you grab it carefully. You have a consistent amount on the left hand side because it will be standardized. It's 24-hour clock, 0800, 1200, etc. And then that gives you a bit more space on the right hand side for what you need to include. So that's an itinerary. You insert the table. You want to have the merged rows. You'll have a merged row for each date. This could be as many dates as possible. If it's just the one date, then you'll just have the one heading. Okay? You'll need to be careful. You're often keying in marks for an itinerary task. There's marks for getting the times right, the dates right. Accuracy is key, and quite often these are now getting added into PowerPoint tasks where you potentially insert the table in PowerPoint, but the format still remains the same. 24-hour clock, activity on the right, make sure that it's in the third person.